And good morning. It's time for the Mike Hewitt Show, brought to you by Renegade River in Spring Lake. And now your host, Mike Hewitt.
Hey, good morning. Listen, folks, we have got the studio about as packed as this studio can get. Jim Riley is sitting down on the end.
You know, you got me all out on a peninsula here.
I almost need a telescope to see. I'm kind of liking this.
Actually, the view from here got better, too.
Hey, with us is Carla Constantine. Welcome back, Carla.
Hello, good morning.
And with her is Kevin Curley. Am I saying it right, Kevin?
Yes, Mike, that's perfect.
Now, I was thinking Brian Thomas should have a last name like Curley instead of you.
Oh, I like Brian Thomas.
I love it.
Oh,
So
you
much-
guys are great.
So much for the serious political show. Hey, listen, what we're going to talk about for a little bit today, we've got actually a pretty full load going. First, we're going to talk a little bit about the Spring Lake Heritage Festival, and then I'm going to ask Kevin Curley a few questions about the Sharps Rifle Company.
Oh,
And then thereafter that, folks,
Excuse me, Sharps Rifle Company? What does that have to do with the Spring Lake Heritage Festival?
it's got everything to do with the important things in life.
Really?
Got to remember, this show is sponsored by Renegade River, which is a firearms dealership.
Really?
And the Sharps Rifle Company, I kind of like them.
You do?
I'm telling
Oh,
you.
let's move on.
Okay,
well, that's
folks.
good to hear, Mike. My client's gonna love that.
Yeah, I kind of thought so. Hey, listen, you two. Now I think Carla, you've been on before at
Yes.
least once, maybe I can't remember a couple
I
times.
think 2 years ago. I
Yep,
was
that's
on.
right. But what we're talking about today is the Spring Lake Heritage Festival, which is June 15th through the 20th, and it's right out in front of Renegade River. So how could I have not brought you folks in to talk about it?
True.
Well, we appreciate it. I mean,
Yeah,
this is
tell
great.
us about it. What is it? What's it going to do? What's it going to look like? What do we do?
Well, we start off on Monday, which is just a few days away. We're going to have the flea market, and we are going to have the Malt Shop Memories, which is taking place at the Spring Lake Country Club. And if you are AARP, which I think you only have to be 50 years old or older, you can come on down, and they're going to have a lot of fun things to do with you, and that's an all-day event.
Yeah, Mike, this is a brand new event for the festival. The organizers of the event, Jerry Langlois and Diane Schindelbeck, did a wonderful job this year and got a lot of community sponsors to really create a day that everyone, well, I say everyone, the as we're saying, the AARP group will have a great time. It starts all day. It's a come in, come out. You don't have to be there all day, but it's at the country club. And there's a lot of great events that they're doing. There's going to be some music, dancing. There'll be food available. There's going to be, let's see what else. We got a bingo type of thing that goes along with, it's a vendor bingo card.
Oh.
That what happens is all these sponsors are sort of giving sort of incentives to go to their businesses or go to their tables. So that's a and then there will be some sort of a raffle related to that. What Carla was yelling at me without saying anything on the microphone was that we actually are going to have another senior bingo that's going to be as well at the, I believe it's at the Holiday Inn this year,
yes.
like we've done in the past. So there's a lot of things going on right off the bat on Monday. And senior bingo is free. So that's a great little event at the Holiday Inn. You can play bingo, have some fun. There's prizes. So that'll be a good time. And I think it starts. Oh, senior bingo. We'll start at 9:30 on Thursday.
Listen, I think I qualify for ARP, but aside from that problem,
So do I. We could go together.
And let's just make it clear that that's 9:30 a.m. since there aren't any seniors awake at 9:30 p.m.
True.
and they've been up for hours at 9:30 a.m.
Oh, that's not when everyone wakes up?
Yeah, there you go.
This was a little early for me today, so.
Tell me about the flea market.
The flea market's great. I mean, the flea market's been one of the events at the festivals that's been around forever.
This is
And-
one of those things where there's something for everybody, and I'm not really an ARP or a bingo guy, but flea markets I like.
And this is great. We've got, I think, over 30 vendors coming in. It's a 2-day event. Starts from Monday and Tuesday, and it's at the Harvest Bible Chapel parking lot right next to the Spring Lake Library. I I believe, yeah, it starts at 8 a.m., goes all day through 6 p.m. So there's going to be food available, and it'd be kind of a great thing to, hopefully, it looks like we're going to have good weather. It's just kind of going from tent to tent and seeing what people have.
Malt Shop Memories?
Malt Shop Memories is on Monday at the Country
Is
Club.
that where two sweethearts are sharing a malt with one malt, two straws?
Yes,
Well, see,
definitely.
you know what that is, so that means you qualify to go to that event.
That means I
so
get ARP. I
you
get
can
it.
go, yeah.
Also on Tuesday, we have the dog walk. Diane Schindelbeck is in charge of that. She's got a bunch of people helping her, and that is at Central Park in Spring Lake. That's by the Ace Hardware. There's going to be a canine demonstration between 5:30 and 6:30, and then you are going to walk from Central Park all the way down to the Old Boys Brew House, where there will be a lot of activities for your dogs. You can dress them up. You can get games for them. You can feed them little doggy treats. There's going to be some free root beer. I don't know if your dog likes root beer, but the kids like the root beer. So that, that will be a fun little trot down the walk path.
Very nice. Not a place for my African gray parrot, but very nice.
You never
not?
know. Why not?
The parrot's kind of antisocial except for with me.
Oh.
Well, put it on your shoulder and bring it on down.
Oh, yeah. I'm visualizing that. What is Windsor McKay Day?
That is something that the library presents. Winsor McKay was one of the original cartoonists prior to even Walt Disney, and he is from the Tri-Cities area. So then the library puts on events for kids during the day, talking about Winsor McKay and drawing cartoons and that sort of thing.
Are you a drawer?
No.
No?
I've seen them. They're not not good.
Her drawings?
Yeah.
They're
no,
bad
it's-
stick people.
Okay, so that whole concept about, never mind. I can't say that.
No.
Kevin, you're younger than us. What's your favorite thing of all of this whole schedule?
Ooh. You know what? I know Carla would have me pick. She's pointing at it on the calendar. I have a hard time picking just one. I think the dog walk is great. It's a great little event. There's a lot of activity, and so it's kind of great to see how the owners dress up the pets, and usually there's a lot of kids involved, and so it's a really good time. I'd bring my dog, but she's a little bit hyper, and I don't know if it would be.
Listen,
Dog's a wimp.
when I look at the whole
That's good to know.
He couldn't walk that far.
What?
when I look at the whole schedule Monday through Saturday, I think my absolute favorite is the car show.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Now see,
yeah.
we have two new organizers this year.
And they're women, two hot rod women.
And they're
Yes.
great. They've done a really good job. Again, they've gotten a lot of good community sponsors bringing in. Nancy and Mary have done a wonderful job, and we're looking to have a good turnout this year. We're going to have few promos throughout the week. Maybe have a couple cars at different events. So
Any idea how many cars you'll have at the show?
usually that parking lot's pretty full at the All Shores Wesleyan. So
Right.
I mean,
And
they
a-
have. I think they
100-ish,
have something
probably.
like
Oh, yeah.
800 plus people come, for one of their Sunday, services. So I can imagine that.
Yeah, it's north of 100 in terms of
Oh yeah,
in terms of
right.
cars.
Yep.
And I got to tell you, I've been the years that Renegade River has been there. I've been each to look at that because it is true. I spent 30 some years in the car business. So
Oh wow.
I've still got an affinity for the older stuff. I don't care too much for the newer stuff, but
Do you have an old car you could enter?
I don't. I got Renegade River. Everything that I owned went into my store.
Oh, okay.
I was trying to get my stepdad to come out. We have a 1923 Model T, and it just happened to be the same week he was retiring. So he's like, no, I can't come, but next year he'll come. And it's a great little car.
He's a smart man because he could have said, "You go ahead and take my car," but
No. He trailers it out. They live out in Connecticut, but
they're a ways away.
they do a lot of. They do. Last year they went down to South Bend. There was a big car show down there at the Studa. Was it? What's down in South Bend? It's not the Studebaker. It's the.
Oh, the core of it.
Anyways,
Some of the Auburn,
Auburn Coors
Museum and
down
all
there.
that.
Yeah,
Cord.
so they were down there. They trailered it out from Connecticut. So I'm really looking forward to. I really would like that event to be really big this year, trying to get more families to come. I think it's a really good time.
Well, can one of you two explain to me what pickleball is?
That'd be Kevin.
Pickleball. Well, that's my event. I host that event.
Somehow that makes sense.
Well, I'll take that as a compliment.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Pickleball is it's a combination. It's a mix between let's say tennis and maybe platform tennis. So it's played on a tennis court, but it's a smaller playing area. The net is a little lower. It's about 34 inches instead of 36 inches. And you play with a racket that's about maybe the size of a laptop screen.
Okay.
It's made out of like a composite, and you play with a wiffle ball. And it's a fast game. There's some courts down at Mulligan's Hollow. There's 6 courts that are just for pickleball. And last week we had all 6 courts were full. We play at Mulligan's Hollow every day from 8 to noon. And we usually have...
That's why you're always
so
not
late,
available.
I know. Yeah.
You're always late. You're playing? Oh, my gosh.
No, I don't play every day.
Oh.
Is this a West Michigan thing?
No, this is a national thing. This is actually America's fastest growing sport.
Listen, I'm 54, and I had never heard of pickleball until I moved to this area.
Pickleball celebrating its 50th anniversary this year. They have a nationals tournament in Arizona every year that usually gets between just around 700 players. It's a 4-day event, so it's a good time.
Yes, but your event's not at Mulligan's Hollow. It's at
the
middle
pickleball
school.
tournament this year, as it has been for the last few years, is going to be at the Spring Lake Middle School. So far, we've got about 80 people registered.
So it's a 44-foot long court, 20 feet wide.
Look at you.
Googled it.
Hey, I'm on it.
You're on it.
Google laughed at me for which
Are you on? Oh, are you on the USAPA website? Is that what that is?
I don't know. I'm at pickleball.com.
Oh, good times. It's a great event. So we've last year we partnered with and donated money to Kids Food Basket from proceeds from the tournament. This year we're going to be donating proceeds to the Central Park Restoration Project in Spring Lake, which has raised to date almost $100,000. This past week they just got a big donation from the Loudet Foundation of $25,000. So I think that's what we're doing. We're hoping the donation, the Central Park Restoration Project includes 6 new pickleball courts. So hopefully next year the tournament will be in the village, which will be nice.
What? Tell me about the entertainment tent.
Which for Friday night? Oh my gosh, Friday nights.
Well, she takes right over on that one.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I get to serve the beer.
There you go.
We have 3.
That answers one of my questions, by the way.
If they're serving beer.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, beer and wine.
Okay,
yes.
very nice.
There's going to be 3 bands that night. We've never ever had 3 bands in one entertainment tent. The first one up is Dave Palmer and the Greenhouse Gang. Dave and his Greenhouse Gang are all from the Grand Haven area, and they play their original songs, and it's mostly kind of folksy songs. And have you ever heard of Walk the Beat in Grand Haven, Spring Lake? Dave Palmer is in charge of that.
Okay.
So he'll be our first band up. Then we're going to have Room Full of Elephants. I've never heard them before, but they do rock and roll, blues, and they are also from Grand Haven. And then our third and last band is Matt Williams, and he's country. So, and also from Grand Haven. So all 3 bands Friday night are from Grand Haven. And the gates open at 6:30, and you're going to have music from about 7 o'clock all the way till 12:30. So that'll be a fun night there. And that is at Mill Point Park in Spring Lake. And that is, you can go to the car festival and then come on down to the entertainment tent on Friday.
Very, very nice. Folks, we're going to head towards a break, but when we come back, we're going to get Kevin to talk a little bit about some rifles. And then later in the show...
I should have brought it with me.
There you go. Well,
you
no
could
one-
have taken some pictures. You could have
Oh,
uploaded it
yeah.
up online.
Well, we'll probably talk about .coms and all that, so we'll tell people how to see them. But when we come back, we'll also be talking about Kathleen Burden. Folks, we'll be back in just a bit.
Renegade River in Spring Lake wants to buy your used handguns and hunting guns. Renegade River, your hunting, camping, and survival store. Stop in and check out their new and used firearms, sporting goods, Army and Navy supplies, and survival gear. Downtown Spring Lake, next to the police station.
Welcome back to the Mike Hewitt Show. Again, we've got a full studio this morning. Sitting, as always, a shotgun is Jim Riley. And he can't say nothing because he's so far away from a microphone that he's over there playing on the internet. Don't want to know what he's looking at. With us is Kevin Curley and also Carla Constantine with the Spring Lake Heritage Festival. Tell me, one of the two of you, what is Wings on the Water?
Wings in the Water is a chicken barbecue contest. People come down and
Chicken barbecue contest. So we're not talking about like a turtle race or a
no,
chicken race.
no, we have
These things are not racing anywhere.
nope. They be dead.
Okay.
So the wings, we've got 7 cookers this year. We have, let's see, we have Old Boys, Jack's Restaurant, Stable Inn, Top Barbecue Butcher Shop, King of Wings, who was our winner last year, Feathered Fury, who they're an amateur bunch of kids coming in and doing this, and then All Shores Wesleyan Church. They're also amateurs. So we have got 7 cookers. They're going to be cooking up about, each cooker will do anywhere from 800 to 1,000 wings.
Wow.
So we need a lot of people down there tasting them, voting for their favorite. We also have a judge's favorite. And so we've got 5 judges lined up to do some tasting at 6 o'clock. But the general public can come on in at 5 o'clock. The gates will open. We'll also have beverages for sale, beer and wine, soda, water, and some popcorn along with the wings. Bring your lawn chairs because we always run out of picnic tables to sit at for eating of
That
the
means
wings.
you got some good turnouts.
Yeah. And
Very-
we've got music too.
Oh, yeah. You singing?
No, are you kidding? me? No. Mm-mm. No.
What else we got going?
Oh gosh. Oh, on Saturday.
Yep.
That's our fullest day. We start out with the 5K run. That's at 8 o'clock. And then when you're done running your 5K, you can go over to Barber School and have a pancake breakfast. That is put on by our local Lions Club. And then Kevin's pickleball tournament is that day. And then the Friends of the Library have a book sale, used books. And then in the afternoon, there is a Civil War presentation. That will take place at Barber School
Well, you
at
got-
2 o'clock.
I got to stop you there because I got a check mark on that one.
Okay, why?
Listen, I love
Okay.
I love American history.
Okay.
And you can't do American history without really diving into the Civil War because so much of what our country is now was as much a result of that as it was the founding itself. So that, can we pause? Tell me a little bit, what is that?
Okay, this is put on by the Sons of the Union. We have a member, Dan Grable, and he is part of that, and he always does something about the Civil War during the festival week. And this year, they're going to be talking about the Battle of Bentonville.
Okay.
And then they're also going to do the Grand Army of the Republic Sons. It's a Civil War veterans group. They're going to also have a Freeman's Burial.
These are some pretty fairly old fellows then.
Yes. Oh yeah, you should see them. They walk in the Memorial Day parade. Well,
Yep.
they can't walk anymore. They ride in the back of a truck because
Right.
they wear their uniforms and it's just too warm and it's too hard for them to walk.
Well, I don't blame them.
Yeah. So, and then there's going to be an question and answer session, and they will be there at 2 o'clock at Barber School in Spring Lake.
Very, very, very cool. That sounds like a fun event.
It's great for the family,
It
good for
is,
kids.
yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of learn a little bit.
Yep.
Listen, I'm truly, you guys are laughing at me. I'm really passionate about that particular topic.
Yeah.
Well, you can
I'm going to be there.
walk right over there.
I really am.
Yeah.
I think the concept of sort of not, living history museums, somewhere like even Gettysburg, being able to go and walk around. One of the best experience I had was my wife and I, when she was going to school in Philadelphia, we drove out to Gettysburg, stayed there for a while, and she's a marathon runner. She's a lot faster than I am, so I was on my bike, and she was running, but we got to run along the driving tour of Gettysburg, and it was a hot July day. It was July 3rd, and she's in her running gear, and I'm on my bike, and we're huffing puffing, and we're thinking, geez, I can't imagine these guys on these same exact fields in wool coats, running with heavy muskets up and down these fields that you don't really experience when you're driving.
Right.
And it was quite an experience. So,
a lot more were lost to conditions than were lost to enemy fire.
You can understand it when you get out of your car, instead of going air conditioned stop to stop and reading what's there, and you're actually walking it. It was amazing. So
It really is. And part of it, for me, what makes it such a passion for me, and everyone knows that listens, because like I say, normally this is very hard political type of dialogue we're having. But without civic duty, I mean, those folks were not called to war over anything but a personal creed to save the United States. Yeah. Well, in fact, on both sides, keep in mind. So very, very different time. Did we talk about the 5K run yet? If not, can we, even if we did, can we touch it again?
What
the
was
5K
that?
run on Saturday morning?
Yeah, Saturday morning. That
it's run by the Losies, and mainly it starts at Central Park.
Are you running in it?
I am not. But
are you gonna be while she's running? You're gonna be preparing the
pickleball tournament.
No, the pancake breakfast.
Oh, actually,
you could get in there a little bit early before pickleball starts.
I could
get the pancakes done.
I could. Yeah, Carla usually runs a 5K. She goes over the pancake breakfast, and then she comes to see me. And it's a
and then
a
I
busy
go
day.
home and crash.
Yeah.
To get ready for the entertainment tent on Saturday night.
Carla won her age division last year, I think, in the race.
What age division was that, Kevin?
I think it was like 35.
Oh, that's a good
plus.
one. Yeah. Woo. Okay. Yeah. Why are you laughing?
I'm thinking, why did he pick such an old age? I don't know why he would use that number.
Well, I only wish. Okay, entertainment tent.
Yep.
Saturday night.
Yep.
We've got music by For You to Envy.
That's the name of the band.
Yes.
Okay.
And
all
then
initials.
All initials. And then Jaded 8. So, and again, that tent opens, the gates open at 6:30.
And you're the barkeep.
On Saturday night, no, I'm not a barkeep Saturday night. Saturday night, I'll probably working in the gate area or be a runner. I'm not sure what they've got me assigned to do. So, and then at 10:15 Saturday evening will be the Holiday Inn fireworks finale. Holiday Inn is our big sponsor this year. They're sponsoring the fireworks and other events throughout the week. So we're very happy that they're part of our endeavor this year.
How do people find all of these events laid out in order on the internet? Is there a website?
Yes, our website is slheritagefestival.com. Again, SL for like Spring Lake. So slheritagefestival.com. And they can find everything on there, our events, contact information, all that sort of good stuff. Or they could just Google Spring Lake Heritage Festival and it will come up.
And I'd like to say a little bit about our sponsors.
Please.
Every year, we're not able to do any of these events without our community sponsors and the work of our planning committee. And it's a lot of volunteer hours, but every year, and this is our 30th year, we're able to put on a really good event. So I just want to mention some of our title sponsors. We've got the Holiday Inn, Huntington Bank, the Grand Haven Tribune. In the Tribune this weekend on Saturday, there will be an actual 12-page pullout that will have all the events laid out. Our platinum sponsor, Signature Smiles Dental, right there on Savage, and then WGHN. And then some of our other sponsors, Orchard Markets, Mr. and Mrs. John Fiore for Plank Trucking, the Village and the Township of Spring Lake, Garrison Dental, Transfer Tool Products, Leppinks, Shap Machinery, and then Firekeepers, the Country Club, the Pines Clock Funeral Home, Cruise and Travel Experts, North Ottawa Community Health, and Schulten Fant, Global Technologies, Bridgeview Insurance Agency, Blue Chip, and Alliance. So I mean, we have a lot of community involvement. And that's what makes this festival
nice.
different than, I think, other festivals in the area, is that this is really a community event. It's really geared towards Spring Lake, Grand Haven, Nunica, Ferrysburg, and Fruitport. We don't necessarily want people to come in from Chicago or, Detroit or even Grand Rapids. This is a community event. So
very, very, very cool. Listen, we've only got 2 or 3 minutes before we run out of segment. Tell me in that time about Sharp's Rifle Company.
Sharp's Rifle Company, they
started just last year, right?
They've been around for a couple years.
Okay.
They're out in Wyoming.
Right.
They're a client that I represent.
Yep.
I do a lot of their marketing. They
products are built
made in the USA.
That's what I wanted you to tell me.
Yeah, made in the USA, and they make AR products. So they have a great bolt carrier group.
AR, you mean like Armor Light Rifle?
AR-15s, yes.
That's the Armor Light Rifle. The media gets me so twisted up when they use the term assault rifle, because it's really Armor Light Rifle. That's who invented that configuration. And, of course, the media wanting to be negative towards firearms comes up with that term. It's an Armor Light Rifle.
And so this one is what we did with the AR, this configuration of the AR. It's a 25-45 with a 20-inch barrel. So for those individuals who maybe have an AR but want to hunt with it, we create an upper that you can put on sort of like a Lego that allows you to hunt with your AR. Because in Michigan, you need to have more than a 22. And what they do is it's a 223 necked up to a 25, and it's an 87 grain bullet.
Okay.
So now you're getting 3,000 feet per second. You're getting that stopping power. So whitetail, varmint hunting, but now it's legal to hunt with your AR.
Right.
And it's kind of a cool little rifle, and hopefully Renegade River will have some for you to look at soon.
I like it. I bet we will. All right, folks, listen, thank you both very, very much for joining us today, and I'll see you back in Spring Lake at the Heritage Festival.
Wonderful.
Sounds good. Great. Thanks for having on, Mike.
Very nice, folks. We'll be right back with Kathleen Burden.
Be a survivor, not a statistic. Renegade River in Spring Lake has new and used handguns, hunting guns, sporting goods, and survival gear. Protect your rights and your freedom. Ask about their CPL classes. Renegade River, next to the police station at downtown Spring Lake.
Welcome back to the Mike Hewitt Show. Now, Jim Riley, you're sitting back where you're normally sitting.
I'm back in the super chair. You betcha.
And somebody gave you a microphone.
Yes, they did. I've got so many ideas, so many thoughts, just ready to splurge out into the airwaves. But I'm just the second guy here, so you're going to run this, baby.
Wow, that's a scary.
Actually, we're
thing.
doing filler until we get the phone in from the newly elected Republican National Committee woman from Michigan,
Kathleen Burden, who is somewhere. I think she's in D.C. right now. I'm not sure where she's at. But I think she's on a cell phone, and we were having a very difficult time during the break making the connect. So at some point, I'm assuming she'll get where she's got cell service and give us a ring back. In the meantime, have you been watching ISIS and our president, who doesn't seem to have a strategy?
Well, I'm not a fan, of course, of President Obama, but it's not just the president doesn't seem to have a strategy. Nobody in the Western world seems to have any kind of strategy whatsoever. And I read a very scary article this morning about someone who's a true solid insider saying it's now gotten to the point that it appears that ISIS will win, and then goes on to explain what winning means, and it is essentially a caliphate, a radical Islamic government that will be consolidating its power and probably start to get recognized by other countries and will grow.
Now, they're talking about having most of Iraq, including Iraq's capital city, falling, and so that would end up being a country, all of Iraq, and a good portion, if not all of Syria, at least, as making up their new contingent caliphate.
Well, and keep in mind that right next to them, of course, is Iran, who tells us that they're just engaging in peaceful use of nuclear weapon development. They are meeting kind of to me, one of the more frightening events ever is that North Korean folks flew in to Iran just this most recent week to have conversations that we don't know exactly what they talked about, but we do know this. Iran has missiles that are capable of traveling very far. They at this point may very well be intercontinentally able to travel. But they do not at this point appear to have nuclear weapons.
Well, I'm reading on the Drudge Report, and they've linked to a site, the Independent New York Times or something like that. I'm not sure what the name of it is, but yes, it is the Independent out of the UK actually. And the caption of it is ISIS's dirty bomb. Jihadists have seized enough radioactive material to build their first weapons WMD. So
well, and whether they buy it or they build it, they still need a way to deliver it.
Well, they're talking about delivering it in a suitcase, and that's a dirty bomb, not a missile.
And if in fact they deliver it that way, well, keep in mind now, you do have folks from North Korea who have nuclear weapons. They have tested them. We know that they have them.
They do.
And we just saw that the folks from North Korea just visited in the Mideast. Things are really heating up, and I'm clearly Obama's smart diplomacy is absolutely collapsed. But I haven't seen smart diplomacy in for anyone else in the Western world. This reminds me so much of the 1930s as the Western world, including the United States and Europe, watched as Germany and Japan grew and flaunted every single international law and just sat back and did nothing.
Yeah, it's a scary circumstance. There's a whole bunch to talk about, but we've got Kathleen Burden on the line with us now. Kathleen, welcome to the Mike Hewitt Show.
Thank you, Mike. It's nice to be with you.
Hey, I appreciate you going to the extra step to call us. We were not getting through, but you're talking with Jim Riley and I. And,
Good morning.
And listen,
Good morning, Jim.
I'm excited. Tell me a little bit what it is. What do you do now that you're a national committee woman for the state of Michigan to the Republican National Committee? What does that mean? What do you do?
Okay. Well, I'll tell you, I had a quick turnaround after my election. 3 days later, I was on a plane going to my first Republican National Committee meeting, which was in Phoenix, Arizona. At that place, that is very similar to our state committee meetings, but it's pertaining to more national across the countries. We got to listen to our leaders there, and one of the things that really impressed me was seeing all the different chairs of the state, like our Romney McDaniel was at her chair, but then right around this large U-shaped table were all the county state chairs from across the nation, and that was quite impressive to see as they banner back ideas and what was going on in their different areas and going forward with, electing a Republican president coming up in 2016. But it was very impressive to see such a great group of people coming from all corners of the nation, to attend this. So very pleased. But as my part is to be a liaison from state party to national and then bring back what I learned from national, share it with state party. Pardon me, I have a little bit of a cold.
Oh, no, I know the feeling.
Yeah, as well as attending county meetings and Lincoln Day dinners and things like that. That's what I'm going to be busy doing and have been doing.
Just for full disclosure, folks, I'm the chair of the 2nd Congressional District Committee, which is our area Republican committee. And I say that because I'm far more on the ground level than at least you are now. I know that you've certainly been a county chair, as I recall, for a county GOP.
Yes.
But one of the things I hear a lot on a local level is, does the Republican Party have a strategy to win once we get past the primary process? And I think one of the concerns, and I'm certain you hear a lot of banter about it, but with all of the sheer number of presidential candidates we have in the primary, and the typical thing is it's hard for people. It's a human nature thing, and I'm guilty of it also. To rather than being the cheerleader for my choice, it's hard not to attack the other choices. And with so many, and I'm reading article after article about how they're all having a difficult time raising money, and of course they would when there's 19 of them or so.
Right. Well,
I'm wondering, is there a strategy or maybe a growing strategy from a party level nationally on how to deal with this oddity?
Well, I think we're really blessed to have so many qualified candidates to choose from at the moment. We've had a lot of them in state, and we're very helpful to welcome them so they can showcase themselves and answer questions for people to look at. And then going forward from that, once we do have our primary, the object, of course, is to unify behind whoever that candidate is to give us the best chance of going forward to win the 2016 election. But we've been really blessed to have so many. I mean, my gosh, we've had Ted Cruz and Governor Scott Walker, Carly Fiorina, Ben Carson, Rand Paul, Jeb Bush, Rich Santorum. We've had a tremendous amount stopping by Michigan. Michigan is a very important stop for them. They realize that, so I look to see that more will be continuing to do that until we get to the primary. And once they start having their debates, too, that's going to help people assess them more as they see them go up against each other in that format.
Right.
But the object at the end is going to be unifying and cohesiveness to backing whoever our person will be.
Amen to that. I will tell you one thing that, in fact, I've said it on this show several times in endless Facebook debates. When I look at the number of candidates that we have, on the one hand, I articulate the concern that the vicious attacks that might. By the way, so far they're not happening.
That's
far,
right.
So far, all of the candidates have been very well above board with it, and I think for the most part so is grassroots, although that's always a concern. On the other hand, when I step back and try not to be in a party role and I just look at the two major parties at least in total, and I look at the number of candidates we have versus the absence of a contest that the Democratic Party has, man, I got to tell you, I think you are exactly right. I think the Republican Party is showing vibrance and health, that there are that many great ideas being, you don't have to agree with all of them, but that there are that many people willing to take a leading position and bring new and fresh and vibrant ideas to the arena of ideas. I'm excited about that part of this equation.
Oh, I very much so am also. And all the ones I've listened to, all of them, they all have really good points. But someone will eventually, rise to the top and will be our eventual nominee. And we just all have to go ahead and then back that person cohesively. That's all there is to it. The Democrats, really, they only have one major candidate. So it's astounding to me that we are blessed to have this many people willing to take on this role, because it's a big role. It's a lot of work for a family, and I'm very proud of our party that, yes, we're not having any squabblings or anything. Everybody's just interested to look at the candidates, assess them, and make the best choice for us and our nation.
Absolutely, and it is most certainly it's exciting time. Looking forward just this summer. Now, were you recently at Mackinac with the Chamber of Commerce event?
No, I was not at that one. I was otherwise occupied during that time frame.
Okay. Now, will you
Did you get to go up there?
I did not. I was looking for your insight, but really my reason was looking forward to the leadership conference that's coming up in September at the same location, the Mackinac Island. I say that because I'm looking for opportunities for grassroots people like me to have an opportunity to actually see these people. I say that, folks, because, listen, Michigan's moved its primary up to early March, has made Michigan a significant player in the primary process, and the result of that is these candidates are making a lot of trips to Michigan. It gives us all an opportunity to see and hear who they really are up close and in person.
Yes, it's nice to see them in person. The first debate will be in August, so that's coming up before you know it, too. So that will give people an opportunity to see them banter back and forth and play off one another. And I think that's really important, too, because when you have the podium by yourself, you can say whatever you want. It's interesting to see as they go back and forth as individuals with their different ideas.
Tell me on that, Kathleen. Is there some limitations as to how many candidates will be in that debate? I say that because I'm trying to visualize a debate with 19. Having been a candidate where there was 8 candidates was a challenge. I'm trying to imagine 19 of them.
No, I think it's going to be the top 10 contenders, and how they make that assessment, I'm not sure if there's going to look at polls or what, but I've been told that will be 10 at the moment anyhow. So the 10 will be up for the first debate in August. Then, like you say, we're trying to get as many of them to come up. Our chairwoman is doing a wonderful job contacting people for the Mackinac Leadership Conference in September, which will follow shortly thereafter. Right.
And I can tell you without dates or anything that the 2nd and 3rd District Republican committees are looking to do a joint event that'll be somewhere in August. And hopefully we'll have one of those folks break free to come visit us. It's some exciting times within the Republican Party.
It really is. I'm really happy and proud to be part of it all, and I'm glad to see that everyone is working cohesively together at this moment to, go to that end, because that's the goal. We need a Republican president, and we need to break the economy the way it is, and I think no one could do it better than one of our own.
Are you in your role with RNC? Are you finding yourself doing a lot of traveling?
Yes, I do. I do. Yeah, I had to get a separate little calendar just to put different dates on, for the different upcoming events that I'm speaking at and attending. And it's really exciting for me, too, to meet our different people across the state. We have such a good group of people everywhere I've attended so far. So, no, every stop is different, but the goal is the same, to get someone in the White House from our side of the fence. So that's what's on everybody's mind, first and foremost.
I have to tell you, one of the things that excited me about you as a candidate before you won, when you were a candidate for this role, there were a number of really nice ladies that were early on campaigning for that role. But what I was looking for is someone that would help bridge any communication divides that's taken place, that maybe sometimes it's imagination, but within the GOP. And I gotta compliment you on that. I was impressed with. I believed that was something you do an excellent job at, and so far you're proving me right.
Oh, I was really, really proud to work with both the women, and we all worked hard. We all put our time, talent, and treasure into that. And I'm really proud of anybody who would put themselves up for that position or any position. It takes some time for your family. It's wonderful to have your family back you. I don't think one could do it without it. And I believe both the other ladies had that as well. But I was really pleased to win. And it was a pleasure to meet them and get to know them a little bit. And they're going to still be working within our party and working hard also.
Very, very, very nice. It's an overwhelming thing to try to get your hands around all that's taken place with this election. But I say overwhelming, I should say just an exciting thing, because it's not just exciting. That's probably the best word.
It is. It's exciting for our whole nation actually coming up, and I hope it's a big turning point, because we really need that, and there's a lot of concern across the nation from what's happened with our present administration. So if we can go forward and get a great person in there, I think we're all going to benefit from it, and I'll be very happy in 2016. We'll all be celebrating.
Listen, do you have a lot of communication with grassroots?
As I go to the different areas, yes. Yeah, as I go to the different counties and things, we have a compilation of all kinds of people. We have grassroots people. We have people who are more on the libertarian side. And I'll tell you what, we need them all. Our Tea Party people, we need all of them, because all of us are volunteers to one extent or another. And we need all of them, and we need their work, and more importantly, we need their vote going forward. So everyone's welcome. Everyone has their own ideas. It's picking the best ideas and going ahead cohesively then to work together on all fronts.
I got to tell you, I tend to lean, I never use the word libertarian, but I tend to lean classical liberal in a Jeffersonian sense. In fact, I think that's one of the monikers for the show. But I genuinely believe that it takes a homogenization of all of those views to represent America in total.
It does.
And I think that's how our system was set up.
Yep, I think you're exactly right. And every little idea helps. You can glean something from everyone. There's just no doubt about it. So, no, I'm very, very proud of them. So, we're all under the same umbrella. It's just we have little different shades of ideas here and there. And it's just making a beautiful rainbow at the end to put them all together and pick the best of all those ideas.
There you go. Listen, if folks have questions for you, is there a way for them to contact you?
Yes, I have a website. It's www.kathyburden.com. I also have on Facebook, it's Kathleen Burden for RNC Chair. And, they could post things there, if they would like to and ask questions. And, I welcome that. I welcome everyone's ideas, or if they have questions or anything, they're welcome to contact me anytime.
Very, very, very nice. Listen, as this year unfolds and we get closer to the August debates and so forth, I would love to be able to get you back on, Kathy, to just take temperature of the Republican Party and get your take on everything.
You're more than welcome to call anytime. You know that.
Very nice.
I appreciate everything you do for our party. Like I said, it takes teamwork on all fronts. I mean, from the people that walk in parades and sit at fair booths, and I've done all of those, with working my way up to chairwoman and being on state committee. And I think the more people get involved, they find out, if they have the time and energy to do it, there's something for everyone. Not everyone maybe can give time, so maybe they give a donation. But the time, sitting in a phone call for someone who's maybe not physically able to walk door to door, all of those aspects are necessary and really appreciated in any venue, especially with an election coming up.
Very, very true. Kathy, we're going to let you go, but listen, I appreciate you very, very much for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much, and you guys all have a wonderful day.
Good.
Yes, bye-bye.
Bye-bye now. Jim Riley, this coming week, I want you and I to focus on this ISIS drama, and I'm going to try to get Shirko Abbas back on. Dr. Abbas is the president of the Kurdistan National Assembly of Syria, to get his take on what's going on. But this ISIS thing is turning into a lot more than I think people are paying attention to.
Well, you were having your conversation here. I did take a peek at the Drudge report, and it is stunning. So you bet. I think it's an extraordinarily important issue.
Well, we're gonna try to get the facts on it. We'll see if we can get Dr. Abbas on to tell us what it looks like from the ground in Syria, at least, because we've got some scary future in front of us.
Well, possibly. You bet.
It's going to be a bumpy ride. Meanwhile, we've got Russia that's dive bombing our destroyers and everything else. The world has got some wrinkles in it right now.
It most certainly does.
Folks, we'll be back next Wednesday, and I'm looking forward to talking to you again. Thanks for being here today.
Renegade River in Spring Lake wants to buy your used handguns and hunting guns. Renegade River, your hunting, camping, and survival store. Stop in and check out their new and used firearms, sporting goods, Army and Navy supplies, and survival gear. Downtown Spring Lake, next to the police station.